I'm Cassidy,
And I'm Kennedy.
and this is Threads of Wealth.
There's so much noise in the wellness world. Do this, don't do that, buy everything.
H2 tab is really the opposite of that. It's a small habit that we've added that feels supportive instead of overwhelming.
You just drop a tablet into your water and it turns into hydrogen-rich water that helps with energy, recovery, and hydration.
There's no powders, there's no flavor, and it's actually really simple to just drop it in and add it to whatever else you're already drinking. If you're craving simple, life-giving wellness, try H2 Tab. Use code Threads of Wealth for 10% off. That's Threads of Wealth, WELLTH, for 10% off. There's something really powerful about knowing exactly where your food comes from, not just reading a label, but being a part of the entire process, from the land to the harvest to the table. Today's guest is someone who lives that out in a really real way. He's very passionate about hunting, not just as a hobby, but as a responsibility. We're talking about hunting, cooking wild game, and honoring the animal, and why this way of living feels more relevant than ever. So whether you're a hunter, married to one, curious, or just trying to feed your family better food, I think you're going to love this episode. Colby, for people that don't know you yet, can you share a little bit about who you are and how you got into hunting?
Yeah. Colby Flynn, born, raised in South Dakota, Sioux Falls. Kind of grew up hunting and fishing with my dad and then my uncles. I'm married to Ashley. We have 3 kids, Nina, Bo, and Pearl.
That's awesome. So, said you always grew up hunting, or were you introduced to it when you were a younger kid, or did you kind of come more into it when you grew up?
That's a good question. I don't know if I had a choice. I mean, from when I was little, like in diapers, my dad would throw us in the boat.
Yeah.
And we'd go. But I always wanted to go. We would, I'd always want to go pheasant hunting, tag along. So yeah, something that was pretty natural for me to want to be in. I always enjoyed doing it. He never had to make me tag along. I wanted to be there with him.
And Bo was like that for you now, right? Your son?
Yeah. So now my son, Bo, he's 7. And I've been dragging him along with me since he's 4.
Yeah.
So he's always going to go, and he's down for whatever we're doing.
Yeah. How did hunting how did your dad represent hunting when you were a kid? Because I know, and we'll talk about this more later, but how you not only enjoy hunting as a hobby, but then you are great at stewarding that and then making it into, you cook, the animal from nose to tail. So how did your dad represent that to you when you were a kid?
Well, so I have most little kids, I mean, you kind of want to, you get a BB gun, you kind of want to shoot everything when you're little. So my dad always said, whatever you shoot, you have to eat.
That's cool. So what did you, what were the craziest things that you shot and then had to eat?
Well, thankfully he didn't really go through on that. That's just kind of what he told me in his head. But I'm like, any little kid, if there's a blackbird or who knows, a rabbit, something, you get your first little red rider, the windows in the neighborhood are not safe.
Yeah, that's very true. So was he always cooking then, the birds, the game that you shot as well for you? Or did you kind of develop more of that sense for your family that you provide for them now?
Yeah, I'd say I like cooking more maybe than he did.
Yeah.
Primarily, I grew up pheasant hunting with him. We didn't hunt a lot else other than we'd go elk hunting, which was awesome. Yeah. But cooking kind of relaxes me. It's like kind of a way to decompress after the day. I like to either cook or be in my garden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for people that didn't grow up hunting, it often gets misunderstood a lot. Can you explain what hunting really means to you more than it's a hobby, but what else does it mean to you?
I'd say kind of a way of life. I mean, maybe would upset my wife, but I plan out my hunting and fishing trips more than I will a family vacation. If we don't have something going on the weekend, I'm probably in the back of my head thinking, who am I going to go with? Who am I going to see? Where me and Bo are going to go?
So when a lot of people, I think it's a misconception that it's just a hobby. So for you, you're really
getting out there and like it's more stewarding the land, stewarding the animals. So you're taking back cooking it is, and you're teaching Bo that. Can you see him kind of, your son, can you see him kind of recognizing that at a young age?
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to believe I'm teaching him, and just the way he acts, he's learning a valuable lesson. You know, what we kill, we eat. We know where we're getting it from. We don't have to go to the grocery store. He helps me clean it. He sees how we prepare it. Sees how we care for it.
Yeah.
So one thing that I've always admired about you is that you're very intentional about, you know, the whole process, from not only hunting the animal, but then actually taking care of it after you harvest it, to cooking it intentionally to make a good, nourishing meal for your family. So can you maybe talk a little bit about what that process looks like for you, whether you're hunting in the area that you live in, or if you're hunting, you know, in the Black Hills somewhere else, how you take care of that animal, that meat, until that you're able to get home and provide or cook that meal for your family?
Yeah, so, and that's a great question, because in our state, I mean, varying weather. Like, you sometimes for a deer opener, you're sweating in, it's 70 degrees out, and then sometimes you're freezing. So it kind of depends on the elements, how your weather is. But like, if you're deer hunting, if it's warm out, you got to process that animal really quick. So that might be on the tailgate of my truck. I mean, we're taking the meat off, we're deboning it, and then we're getting it in coolers. I would prefer to hang it a lot longer, but that's just kind of weather dependent. Nothing against lockers, but I usually don't go to lockers. I just like doing my own stuff and getting back our own meat. That's just a personal thing.
So are you processing the whole animal yourself then, or what?
Yep.
What are your favorite parts to basically take away from the animal and then bring that to the table that your family sits at and eats together?
Yeah, so like if we were saying it was a deer, I mean, I just pull off all the steaks, and then we'll take most of the hindquarters, and I don't do a whole lot of roasts. Our family goes through a ton of jerky.
Right.
So we do a lot of jerky. The kids love to have that for snacks whenever they want. So does my wife. I'll grind some of it for burger, and then sometimes on the front, the legs, I like to smoke the whole leg, and then kind of like, I don't know what I can compare it to, but it turns out pretty good, and my kids eat it, so
Yeah.
we're happy.
I think like also another misconception for me that I've heard anyway is that just venison isn't that good. And so what are some of your favorite ways that you've prepared it so that your family and kids especially enjoy eating it?
Yes, yeah, so I love venison. My family likes it. So I think it has a lot to do with how you clean it, getting off all your silver skin. And then a rule of thumb I tell people when they're eating game is eat it one less than you would. So if you'd order a ribeye medium rare, I'd tell you to eat game rare. Bring it down one level. I think overcooking game really makes it dried out, and then people won't like it. But I
Makes sense.
would say I've had a lot of people at game feeds, wild game that they didn't know, and they've all liked it. So I think it's just a lot of stuff's in people's head, and you gotta be willing to try it.
Right.
Let's talk about fishing a little bit too before we get too much into the kitchen, because you're a big fisherman too. How is that? There's a lot of similarities there, but how is that different as far as what, not only for people that don't fish, like walk us through what that looks like, and then harvesting the fish?
Yeah, so my dad taught me, was big into walleye fishing, so he got us really into walleye fishing. Then I started fishing a lot with my brother. So we target walleyes a lot. You're out in the elements, so you're in God's country, early mornings, evenings, but they are similar to me. My favorite kind of fishing would be salmon fishing. I got some uncles that do that with on the Great Lakes. And for me, that's early mornings, it's not late nights, but it's an ultimate rush. And then you get the benefit of bringing home all your salmon, which I love eating salmon.
Yeah, it's delicious. And your kids, like, is there anything that you've harvested and brought home that your kids haven't liked yet?
No, I can't. So they're kids. They go through phases. Right now, my pearly pants, so she's 4. She'll eat anything I throw at her.
Yeah.
But all of my kids go through those phases. They all, like, I make pheasant, like chicken nuggets for them. They'll eat it that way. Right now, my son's really loving pheasant jerky, which I brought you guys some stuff to sample. I forgot to bring in.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's awesome. I remember when we all lived in Pierre for a while, we would go fishing like early in the morning. Like it was our favorite thing to do when we lived in Pierre, is to go out on the river like at like before sunrise and get out there before sunrise. And I just remember thinking that like it kind of just felt like, well, for one, it's dark and quiet, and it's just a great way of connecting with God. That's how I felt like it was for me. Do you, I mean, you with fishing, you can go at any time of the day. Hunting is usually like morning and night. How do you connect? Like, how is that connection for you when you get out there?
So I really enjoy and love hunting and fishing, both of them. And I don't know if I could tell you which one I like more. People always ask me that. During hunting season, I hunt more than I fish, but I think that's just because they have a season on it. As far as I don't like hunting or fishing if I was solo. So I have to have someone with me. But anyone I'm with, I could do it for weeks on end. So right now, usually I have kids with me or a good friend or both. And yeah, you're just out in it and you're sharing memories and creating memories with people you love.
So I think not necessarily in South Dakota, but maybe other parts of the country. And I think we hear it a lot because we're on social media and, you know, we're big hunters. And so we have pictures out there of our game and stuff like that, that hunting can tend to be more controversial with people, especially outside of the Midwest or big popular hunting states. And so if there is an ethical way of doing it. So if somebody wanted to kind of get started into, you know, hunting or fishing to do exactly what you do, to harvest game appropriately and then provide food for their family, do you have any advice for them on a good way to get started?
Yeah. I would absolutely agree. It's tough. I mean, I have a lot of friends that grew up in South Dakota, and the majority of them don't hunt or fish. And to me, I think they're missing a huge opportunity. But it's tough. I mean, if you don't know people that hunt, first off, some people aren't, you know, comfortable with guns. Some of them don't own them. And then they don't want to go out with, say, their kids if they've never gone before. So I'm always really open to take other people. A lot of people took me, or a lot of people let us on their land. So that's a big help. And the same things with fishing. Our state's great, has lots of access, but getting a boat's not super cheap. And then knowing where to go or being confident of what you're doing is tough too. So I'm always willing to take my kids, friends, and we get out and we have a good time.
Are there specific resources? I mean, maybe not that you commonly utilize anymore just because you've been doing it your whole life, but specific resources, whether it's at the state level or just hunting resources in general, that you would recommend?
I mean, our state has a lot of public land. So driving around, you see where that's at. I mean, most of our water is public, unless, you know, a few counties up by Watertown.
Right.
So there's a lot of places you can get out and get on. As far as resources to teach you, it'd be a lot of trial and error or reaching out to a buddy.
Finding friends and community.
Friends and community, I mean, it doesn't really matter how it goes for your kids. Are just going to be happy to try it.
Right. That's true.
Yeah, and maybe just like starting out by just getting out there. You don't have to carry a gun the first time you go out there, but just maybe getting out and walking the fields and teaching your kids about it before you just jump all in.
And people with dogs, I mean, they love it. Your dogs will like it. You just take it as a walk.
Yeah, I know. That's sometimes the best part is just like watching the dogs walk your work while you're pheasant hunting, and that's so much fun. What about like in the kitchen? If someone, say they're hunters, they love to hunt, but they're not necessarily, the intimidating part is cooking afterwards. Where's a good place to start? Like if someone is gonna say, I want to start, what's the first thing that you would, or the first meal you'd recommend they make?
Yeah, I agree with that as well too, because a lot of guys' wives, they don't want to cook it.
Yeah.
So and a lot of guys don't like to be in the kitchen. So a lot of guys pheasant hunt in our state. Pheasant's really easy if you have kids. I would just strip it up. I like to do cracker batter. So like crush up wheat thins, egg wash them, lay them on a pan, and they come out good. My kids eat them. If you shoot your first deer, I mean, taking out the back straps relatively easy. So it'd be just along the top of the spine. It comes off. It's got a little silver meat. You can skin that off. Your tenderloin is underneath the hind quarters. That's relatively easy to get out once you get past gutting it. But I mean, those are my two favorite cuts on all large animals. So whether it's an elk or a deer, I mean, first the tenderloin's my number one, and then the two is the backstrap. And
Yeah.
you're the one that puts your eyes on it when you are cleaning it. So if there's something you don't like, you can cut it out. And
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
you? Oh, sorry.
ahead.
I was gonna say, would you say that the recipes that you commonly use, are they complex to make the game taste good, or are they really just? Does it come down to knowing the game and how to cook it properly, and then the simpler the better?
I would say for me, it was just a lot of trial and error. I don't write anything down. I know what I like. I know what my wife likes. So on like red meat, a lot of like wine reduction sauce with a lot of herbs out of my garden. That helps, and I like it.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite foods to eat would be waterfowl. So ducks when it's cold here, plucked, and then my favorite would be speckled bellies, also known as white front goose, which
Really?
just amazing.
How do you make duck?
So once it gets cold, and they're not here for that long, once it's cold, they get really thick fat. So then you pluck them. So, and when they have the thick fat, you can sear that fat for as long as you want, and you want to get golden brown. And the meat's not burning because the fat kind of insulates it.
Okay.
And then so you get it as brown as you want, and then you can flip it over real quick, just light touch, and you're eating that medium rare. But it got crispy on the fat, so it's just an awesome piece.
Huh. That sounds delicious. Do you do the same with what other animal did you say? The speckled belly?
Yeah, the speckled belly.
Yeah.
My favorite, just exact same as a mallard.
Yeah, same thing.
But in our state, like when our season's first open, it's pretty warm out.
Okay.
They don't have the fat yet, so I won't pluck them until it gets cold. So before then, a lot of that's going on. I do some duck soups that my wife likes, and then a lot of duck jerky.
Yeah, see, that's one thing that, like, for me would be intimidating is those animals that you wouldn't think about cooking. So but the way that you explained it is actually like, okay, I think I could probably do that.
You'd like it. We'll have to have you girls over.
Yeah.
Yeah, please. I wouldn't complain about that.
Do you host a lot of people for like wild game feeds, or do you get a lot of?
Yeah, I mean, so I'd say at my house, my family's eating the fish we caught or something we killed probably 3 to 5 nights a week. So, I mean, we're eating it all the time. So if friends are over for dinner, that's probably what they're getting fed. And then usually I tell them afterwards, and they all like it, and then they tell their parents. My wife sets me up for like a big game feed, I don't know, 3 to 5 times a year, which I like cooking, so it's no big deal at all to me.
Yeah. I'm just thinking too, like, for the audience, not only is this like the meat that you're harvesting, the fish that you're harvesting, is it healthier than store-bought meat? You know where it's coming from. Like you said, there's no antibiotics. It's not processed. It's also like cheaper. Like, then for people that are like looking to save money on groceries and just overall eating, like, you're out there hunting and harvesting the animal and cooking it yourself. If you're doing that 3 to 5 times a week.
Beef's super expensive right now. So my kids, I mean, they shoot their does. It's a $5 tag.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
That's, yeah.
I mean, I still like beef, but I'm not eating it that much because I have a freezer full.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like how long would you say, like if you go shoot a deer, how long does that get you through?
So my family, we usually have 3 to 5 deer a year. Every once in a while we have an elk, and nothing in our freezer stays in there longer than a year. So I got like a rotation system on it, and we just go through it.
Okay.
I have a lot of people hit me up for fish though. So I give away a lot of fish, but I always have plenty, so I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
Plus then I get to go out more again.
Keep going fishing. It's a good excuse to keep going out.
I think that's really neat for your kids to see and to grow up with. You're not only enjoying, the hobby side of hunting and fishing, and you're bringing them along with them, you're also cooking it, and I'm sure that they're involved in that process too. You said you have your garden, and it's really just a hands-on experience from start to finish, but then they're also seeing that generosity from you as well, that just because others don't necessarily like to hunt, that we can still provide for other people as well. And I think that's a really cool thing because I know you probably realize that, but even when they're at a young age, they pick up on those things. And I think that's a really cool thing to pass down to your kids.
They do. They like it. So when we do big batches of jerky, they want to pass it out to the neighbors.
That's awesome.
So they like to run it over. We make salsa. They're passing out cans, and yeah.
I love that. That's really neat.
And just like this really, like what you're talking about, what we're talking about here, for me, it really just encompasses what living a healthier lifestyle overall is. You're getting outside, you're getting sunlight, and then the food that you're eating from it is just like, it's pure. It's how God intended it to be. And then the lessons that you're teaching your kids and passing down. Yeah.
It is really rewarding.
It's like holistic to its core.
Yeah, we're going back to the roots. They're here for a reason.
Yep, exactly.
As we should. What's your family, do you have any fun hunting or fishing traditions that you do year after year?
I don't know if I would call them, but yeah, I guess they are traditions because we do them every year.
Yeah.
So I take my oldest. She doesn't do a whole lot of hunting with me, other than she really loves it when we do her deer every year. So that's kind of a special thing with us.
Yeah.
She's way more into going fishing with me. Now she likes to bring friends on the boat. You guys already know this, Bo Bo's with me like on every adventure, unless he's got to go to school or mom says no.
Yeah.
My little Pearl, she has not killed anything with me yet. She likes to fish. I tried to get her to shoot her first deer this year, and we woke her up in the morning and she said, maybe tomorrow, Dad. And I woke her up the next day and she told me maybe next year, Dad. So I'm going to try and get her first deer next year, but she's got a little more,
So funny.
she's more of like a dancer.
Yeah.
We're a little different, but I need that. She balances me out.
That's
Yes,
right.
That's awesome.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and I feel like Bo was 7, you said.
Yep.
We follow along a little bit on like with Ashley on her social media, but I feel like he's just like such a little man already, and it's just I feel like watching him go with you, the lessons that he's learned. I mean, do you feel like he could go out on his
He grew
own?
up kind of fast. My friends point that out to me too, because I started taking him fishing probably when he was 2.
Yeah.
And he's been hunting with me now since he's been 4. It's so sometimes I think he's a lot older than he is, because he knows more than some guys that I take out.
Seriously.
And he's got his own opinions now, and like he knows what he's doing. It's pretty awesome. I'm waiting for the day that he's, Dad, I found a spot. I'm taking you.
That's so cool.
Does he like know what when you get out there? Does he just like know what to do?
Yeah, he'll retrieve the birds for me. Like if we're setting up decoys, he'll do that. He'll get out lines for me. Yeah, he's learned a lot. There was a point where he was a lot of work, and sometimes it is if it's really cold. But I mean, he's getting to be a good helper.
What's his favorite thing to hunt or fish, or what does he enjoy most, or is it really just everything? And
No,
being
I'd
outside
say he
with you?
definitely he likes shooting his deer. That's definitely his favorite.
Yeah.
And for kids, I would tell you, like for a kid using a rifle, that might be a little overwhelming for someone. For me, I tell you, it feels really safe because they're sitting right next to you. Nothing can happen. You're side by side. They're looking through a scope, and it comes pretty natural. I've taken other people's kids out. It's not that hard for them to hit it. So as long as you have it in a good rest, the kids, it comes pretty natural for them, and they're pumped after they pull the trigger. So Bo likes that more than fishing, but I mean, he's still going to come fishing every time. And that's just once a year he gets to shoot a deer.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's very true.
Do you have any cool stories of taking your friends, Bo's friends, or any younger kids that haven't gone hunting or fishing before?
I'm sure I do.
Or just like, have you've seen I'm sure you've seen them if it's their first time.
Oh, their
taking
first
them
deer,
out
they
and
just
they're
lose it.
Ecstatic.
They're
Yeah.
pumped. Yeah.
That's so fun. Yeah, there are so many kids out there that want to have that experience and don't. So it's really cool that you take them and teach them. And I'm sure Bo teaches them right alongside.
And that season for kids, I mean, it runs long. It starts like September 1st and it goes to the end of December. So, I mean, you have a long time to get out, and you can get out before it's cold. And
Right.
Yeah, that's true. They have a long time.
For you personally, what's the most meaningful hunt that you've ever been on?
I don't know if I can single that down. I mean, I really enjoy like every hunt I have with my kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Just being able to pass that on
Yep.
is really special, really neat.
All right, so we have a couple like more kitchen questions for you,
Okay.
mostly because I want to get better at cooking wild game in the kitchen. We do like sticks and stuff, but I'm like, I know we could get more creative with meals. Okay, so I think you talked about cuts, but what's the cut that's the most overlooked?
So I'm going to give you girls each package of this. So most guys don't do anything with pheasant legs. So
Pheasant legs.
And I love them. So I brine them, and then
Really?
I smoke them, and they're awesome.
Really?
Like, just anytime I'm hunting or fishing, usually I have pheasant legs. It's an awesome snack.
Wow.
Okay,
That's great
that's
to
good to
know.
know. I'm very interested to try them.
Yeah. So what's one? Okay, so I know you kind of cook you cook with tallow, right?
So I use tallow, but I keep my duck fat.
Oh,
So I use a lot of duck fat.
Smart.
Okay.
Very smart.
That's
So I can actually can it.
You
So
can the duck fat.
yep. So after when you're searing them in a pan, it all comes out. So it's really easy to put that off and put it in a jar and seal it up. So I use duck fat a lot. But I like tallow too. I just don't buy it that often.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, especially if you have the duck fat, it's not coming
makes
out
sense.
naturally. So just when you're cooking it, you just save it.
Basically render it out. Yeah.
Okay. So there's not really a process of using
You
it.
heat it up, it'll just come out. Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Wow.
So that's just awesome because it's another ingredient that you're already harvesting the animal. So it's just one more thing that you're able to utilize, which is super cool. Whether it's from your garden or not, what's another ingredient? It can be an herb that you
So
typically use.
Lots of rosemary, lots of sage, and I like thyme a lot. But I grow those all too in my garden.
Yep.
So-
You grow them in your garden and use that.
What do you do in the wintertime?
Well, so it's still out there, so it's just
Is it?
now it's dried, so I can just pull it off.
Oh,
So
true.
I mean, you have to use a lot more of it. So I'd say when it's green, the flavor's stronger. But yeah,
Okay.
Huh.
Guess I never even thought about that. Like it's still there. You can still use it.
yeah.
It's just dried. That's fascinating. What about cooking it? Cast iron, grill?
Oh, so I like charcoal the most. Like for salmon, I like charcoal flavor a lot. Like for a deer steak, I like charcoal. Sometimes I use the Traeger, but my wife got me a nice set of cast iron. I like that too. I don't know if there's one I like better. If it's frigid outside, I'm probably using the cast iron.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
that makes sense. That's funny. Is there anything else that you do regarding the process of cooking your game or what you do in the kitchen that you think the listeners would be interested to know or that you'd like to share?
I don't know. If it's cold out, you guys don't have to process your game that quick. You got plenty of time. Like I've tried hanging pheasants in my garage. This was one culture thing. So like in Europe, some people think to hang them by their feet, some by their heads for up to 10 days. And I haven't noticed any taste difference trying it.
Okay.
But I mean,
Interesting.
I'm always willing to try something new. Usually it doesn't flop like we're not eating it, but usually it turns out well.
Yeah, that's fascinating. What's one misconception about hunting in general that you wish people understood?
I mean, that we're using the animals. I mean, that we're not just out there to shoot them for fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's like for most of us that hunt, and there's that misconception that like it's just a hobby and, that we're just shooting them for fun or for the scores or the points.
Yeah, and they're not getting used. So
Yeah. It's much more than that.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Well, I just want to thank you for sharing all of this with us and for sharing it with our listeners. I mean, Cassidy and I are big hunters, but we're not nearly as involved in like the kitchen and the prep work and everything. And I want to be, because we still use our meat and we still use our game, but we also want to enjoy it and be able to nourish our families and use every part of it in the way that you are. So I've learned a lot and I'm super excited that you're sharing this with us.
Yeah, I'm excited to take a lot of what you said into practice, and I did learn a lot. So thank you for being on. And like I said, I think that this is what you talked about today is just holistic overall and encompasses what living a healthier lifestyle is. So thank you for sharing with us today.
thanks, ladies.
If today's episode resonated with you, we encourage you to share it with a friend who loves hunting the outdoors or is just interested in putting better food on the table for their family. Please leave us a 5-star review, and we will see you next time on Threads of Wealth.